So it's all about communication. Because I think architects, we tend to want to please or we just want to do our own thing. Like we just want to do our design. It's really to a detriment of the project in those scenarios because you have to communicate with the client and you have to give them the bad news when there's bad news. The most important thing that we do, and again, this might be even more adaptive reuse specific, but for all projects, is try to think ahead, be proactive about problems that are coming down the pike and communicate that up front and be very clear and then follow up on those things, coming back to it again, okay, so we identified this is a potential issue of the exiting. You want us to kind of push the boundary with the city, and we don't think that the city's going to allow us to do this exiting scheme. You were communicating that. This is a problem. And then whatever the time period is, you come back to it. It's like, okay, so here's where we're at with this. It's been 2 months. The city still won't say yes to this exiting scheme. Now the potential issue is it could create a major redesign once we're in CDs, which is going to end up costing you a lot of money. So you're recognizing that there's an issue, you're tracking it, you're being proactive about it, you're doing everything you can, but you're also basically telling him, hey, this is going to be a huge ad service if we don't change course right now. But it's your choice, client. Then he says, oh, keep going. We want that exiting scheme because we can get more units out of that. So then you're in CDs and they say no, and then you got to redesign. And then when you say, okay, this is an ad service, the client is going to be totally fine with it. Well, maybe not totally fine with it, but we'll accept it because you've communicated that it's a potential. And it's not like this, now I need an ad service. It's just you're very professional about it. This is just the way it is. And try to put things in their choice. You're giving them a choice because they're the owners. They're the client. But you have to communicate what those choices are and explain what the outcome of the choices could be. Or this is a high risk, this is a low risk, this could be a big ad service for redesign. This might not be a big deal because we can just kind of change the finishes or something. It's really hard to have those conversations, but it's much harder to get into CDs and have to do a redesign and then say, oh, you know what? This is going to be an ad service because the city said no to this exiting scheme. Oh, but we didn't tell you that it was going to be unlikely they would approve it. And he's being like, I'm not going to pay for that. And why should he pay for that?